Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, with the Hebrew Israelites coming in week in and week out to preach the destruction and the downfall of this wicked kingdom that we call the Euro-Gentile world power system. First and foremost, give an honor and praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Yaakov. And give a double honor to 7130 South Chicago that taught me his truth. Give a double honor to all the brothers and sisters that the Creator has awoken in these last days. With that being said, peace and shalom. Alright, brothers and sisters, we are going to, a discussion today. Is because the world today don't understand that it's going to be ushered into the nuclear third world war, which America, the European common market system is going to be destroyed. And the people that's left over, they're going to be highly devastated. This country and this system that we live in today is going to be devastated. So you see all the people today, they going to work. It's going to come a time in the season where you're not going to be able to go to work. You're going to be in grave fear. We already dealing with that today, dealing with these wars that's going on in these different countries. See, a lot of you is not afraid is because, see, you think it don't affect you. But as we see today, that America is losing her grip, which is modern day Babylon. She is losing her grip on society. That's why when we look at America today, she's losing her grip on the world. That's why the food prices is going up. This is why she's fighting against a lot of these countries. This is why she's trying to ally herself with a lot of these different countries. It's because she's losing her grip over there, what they would call Middle East. Really, it's the northeastern side of Africa. And all of this is on the behest of the Creator. It's because, see, you can't promote white supremacy throughout the world and don't think you're going to suffer the consequences of your actions. And this is what this country have done for almost 500 or something years. They have promoted what you would call white supremacy in the country, right? And put her foot on everybody else's necks. So now we're looking at the judgment from the Creator. And the Creator is destroying America from what? An economical standpoint of view. Because at one point America was one of the greatest shows on earth. Everybody wanted to be just like America. But just like Greece was destroyed, just like Rome was destroyed, and now we're looking at America. America is being destroyed. Look at all these stores over here. They're being destroyed. They're not even in office anymore. And this is what's going to happen to the country. America is in grave debt. It is estimated that she's about 30 or 40-some trillion dollars in debt. And who is she in debt to? She's in debt to the Federal Reserve banking system. Because it's up under the Federal Reserve banking system that she has done what? That she has positioned herself as the top dog over everybody. But a lot of you cats, you think Joe Biden is going now Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is running for office today, right? Because, Kamala Harris is running for president instead of Joe Biden, right? So we think that Kamala Harris is going to save the country out of the turmoil that the country found herself in. We think that Donald Trump is going to save the country out of the turmoil that she found herself in. But that's not the case. See, I was looking at something with Charleston White, and he was talking about Julio, right? And how Julio was running around going to people's grave sites, and he was disrespecting the dead, right? And his end result is that he ended up being murdered. And Julio's mother, she had an issue with Charleston White making those statements about her son. But he said, look, basically he got what he deserved. It's because you running around talking about death and destruction, and then when death and destruction meet your doorstep, now you feel some type of way about it. But what he was saying is that you reap what you sow. And this is the same thing that America in the European common market system, all of these nations that has allied herself with America, because America is modern day Rome, right? So if you live by destruction, you're going to die by it. And we can't just call her white supremacist. She's a global supremacist. Because she does this to other quote-unquote Caucasians that don't want to do what she tell them to do. See? And this is why America is fighting against Russia. It's because Russia for over, I'm 47 years old, I'll be 48 next week. But for at least 30-something years of me following what's going on out here in geopolitics and the events that's taking place on the world stage, America has always had a hatred towards Russia, right? And one of the reasons why she had a hatred towards Russia is because Russia is an independent country. It's a sovereign country that don't want to get under the maniacal grips of America. And see, when you do this, you classify it as what? Public enemy number one. And I can remember when America invaded Iraq, right? Because they said that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. But Russia, the country of South Korea, who else? You got China, they got weapons of mass destruction. Why haven't America ran in on those countries? You know why? It's because, see, when you have nuclear weapons, then people have a different type of respect for you. And this is what's going on, see? America has a different type of respect for these countries, and because why? You just can't run in on those countries. This is what shows you that Saddam Hussein did not have weapons of mass destruction. If he had certain weapons, or what you would call conventional bombs, or bombs that is not going to poison the air and things of this nature, or poison the water, it's because America gave it to him, right? So how you gonna say on one breath the man got weapons of mass destruction, but on another breath you don't want to run in on Russia? Because it's estimated that Russia got almost 10,000 nuclear weapons. Why you want to run in on her? It's because if you do that, you're going to put the country and the world at risk of a nuclear war. And let me hit you with something. This already happened. It's going to happen. It's because these countries is not going to continue to allow America and her allies to keep running in and assassinating their leaders, taking over their natural resources, and these people don't have nothing to say about it. But it ain't like I'm taking up for the other people, right? It's because they too are under the influence of the adversary. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, they was allowed, if the Creator blessed them with the ability to build atomic energy, they would do the same thing, right? It's because it's called what? Divine and common. So the first readings that we're going to be reading out, we're going to be reading out going to be reading out in the book of Job, right? Let's check out what's in the book of Job. So we're going to be reading out in the book of Job, the 8th chapter, and I'm going to start at the 13th verse. It says, so are the paths of all that forget the Most High, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. It says, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. So when these people running around here destroying the air, destroying the food, and destroying the mindset of the people, they have forgotten about the Creator. And most of these people don't even believe in the Most High. See, their God is what? Money. You know, they try to put this tag on black folks, but the so-called white man, he believes in that too, which you would call sex, money, and murder. So the scripture says what? So are all the paths of all that forget Yah, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. And that's the end result. If you continue to do mischief and destruction in the air, right, amongst the family, you're going to perish. And you know, I'm reading that book by Annie Jacobson talking about nuclear war. It talks about the destruction of nuclear weapons. But see, the Most High is the one that's motivating these countries to deal with nuclear weapons, because why? They're going to destroy each other. Because your conventional bombs, your nuclear bombs was built to put your foot on the other country's neck. Anybody that don't want to go, anybody that don't want to get up under your rules, see, you're gonna put your foot on their neck. Verse 14, whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web. See, that's what's happening. That's what's going to happen to the masses, because a lot of you, we contribute to the monster. They say that in the world, they say don't feed the monster. So we feed the monster every 4 and 8 years when we vote these politicians in office. We feed the monster every year when we continue to contribute to the economical system of America. See? So a lot of you folks, you're going to be destroyed just as well. It's because deep down, see, you want her to go to war against Russia. You want her to go to war against these nations that is being classified as public enemy number 1. But don't even know that Russia is in the 38th and the 39th chapter of the book of Ezekiel. Who is that? Gog and Magog. See? So the hope of the hypocrite is going to fail. It's because they talk about how much they love God, but see, they not godly. They talk about how much hope, how much love that they got for America and the people. What they love that they show the people is by putting poison in the air, poison in the food, poison in the water, poison in the mind of the people. See, this is the love that the country got for the masses. And that's why the Creator is saying that what? That eventually you're going to perish. It's because you can't put a people in captivity and rob them of the knowledge of self and then turn around and think you're going to tiptoe into the tulips, right? And then create this world and then got the black man thinking that he's an American, see? So here it is, you have erased his history from out of his brain. When you ask the so-called black man what's his nationality, he's going to give you a bunch of names. See, he going to say he's the black man. He's going to say he's an African American. He's a colored man. Right? He's a Muslim. He's a Jew. He's a Christian. He's a 5%er. And the reason for that is because when we came over here, we was not allowed to transmit history down to our kids. But that's not even a so-called white man. That's the Creator that did that to us. So the Caucasian don't even know who put them in power. All power in the earth belongs to the Creator. So all the paths of all that forget the Most High and the hypocrites' hope shall perish, whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be a spider's web. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. And that's what we doing. That's what y'all doing today. You leaning upon democracy. You leaning upon your military. See, your constitution. But it's not going to stand because you leaning upon your white supremacy or your global supremacy. But it's not going to stand. See, eventually it's going to be destroyed, and that's what we're looking at today. This is why the country is trillions of dollars in debt, right, to the Federal Reserve banking system. Because she has lived deliciously off of the backs of other people. And every other president that tried to get rid of the debt, for real, like JFK and Abraham Lincoln, they was assassinated, right? So you modern day rollers, you're gonna feel the brunt of the Creator's hand. You already seeing that. Look at the morale of the people. The woman is out of order and the man is out of order. And the children is out of order too. Because we're supposed to be made in the image and the likeness of the Creator. But when you poison the air, when you poison the food, when you poison the mindset of the people, that's not made in the image of the Creator. That's in somebody else's image. That's in the adversary's image. It's because a lot of you are eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It says, he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. And see, this is what's happening with the country, y'all. See? This is what's happening with the country. It's not standing. The Democrats and the Republicans are trying to set up scenarios where they can assassinate each other. We saw the assassination attempt on Donald Trump on national TV. But then we're saying, oh, that was just a crazy person. But no, that was a Democrat that took it upon himself to try to assassinate the president because he has bought into the propaganda that the Democrats is trying to sell. And the Republicans they're gonna do the same thing to the Democrats because why? Because the house that America has built it's not standing. Before the Creator destroyed country, he has to first destroy the cancer that's on the inside. And the cancer that's messing the people up is what? The false philosophy and the ideology that America has placed upon the people. There will be a civil war on the shores of America. These Democrats, these Republicans, these independents, they're gonna put down the ballot, and they're gonna pick up what? They're gonna pick up their guns again. Because that's the mentality of the so-called white man. His mentality is what? Death and destruction. So like I said, you're going to see the Republicans someday, they may try to assassinate a Democratic president. See? Because in this country, we're gonna see a civil unrest. We're gonna see people picking up guns again, and they're gonna start shooting and killing people that is not a part of their ideology and what they think. I'm good, man.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Man, good, dog.
It says, they that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling place of the wicked shall come to naught. See, and that's what's happening. Because this country is wicked, man. We got the so-called black woman hating her appearance. Now she got to walk around with white hair on her head. You know, most of our women today, they hate themselves. They want to be just like the so-called white woman. Because we have gotten away from worshiping the Creator, and now we worshiping what? Wood and stone, see? It says, it is good unto thee that thou shouldst oppress, that thou shouldst despise the work of thy hands, and shine upon the counsel of the wicked. See, and what is the works of your hands? Like I said before, white supremacy. But now they have conquered white supremacy. And now they're going for what? Global supremacy. I was listening to a debate on Piers, I think it was Piers Morgan's show, and you had these two guys, one was Jewish, and another one was, well, both of them was Jewish. But they had different ideologies. and they was talking about after NASA and how the Jews in America had assassinated him because see he didn't want to go with the status quo. And also he made a quote that said that the Jews left black and they came back white. See? So what he said that in the 1950s. If I'm mistaken, if I'm correct on the year, he said that during the 1950s. Why would he say that the Jews left black and came back white? It's because they understand what they would call the real Jews were people of copper colored skin. That's why he made that statement. And not only did he make that statement, he started to do what? Try to arm himself against the monarchical grip of the people that's occupying the country. And as a result of that, he was made out of what? Public enemy number one. And this is what they do to people that come against what? The mark of the beast. Because the mark of the beast is the philosophy and teaching of the Gentile world power system. And really all of you have the mark of the beast. It's because you believe in a God, you believe in a ideology, you believe in a politics, right? And it's going to come to your shame. And what is the shame that's coming? The shame that's coming is going to be death and destruction, man. See, a lot of us, man, we don't look at current events, man. And we're not studying the events that's taking place on the world stage. The countries today are gearing themselves for war. It's because what? They already in war. We already in World War III. The only difference is that what? The bombs is not dropping over here yet. But once the bombs is dropping, a lot of you cats is going to be in grave fear. And you're going to seek to your idols. You're going to look to Jesus to save you, but you're going to find out what? That that's an idol that you've been worshiping. And you have used the so-called Negro's history, which is the Bible, to promote your agenda. This is why when you pick up the Bible, you can't understand it. Because why? You tried to manipulate it. And these are some of the works of your hands that you're going to be ashamed of. Because you don't believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Your God is Talmud. Your God is Nimrod, Semiramis, the Babylonian mystery system. That's your God. Book of Job, 12th chapter, and I'm going to start reading the 25th verse. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like drunken men. And that's what's going on. See, and what is the light? The light is the philosophy of the Most High. That's the light. So you got a lot of these folks walking around here today, and they like dead men. They like when you go to a club and you've been drinking all day, you staggering all over the place. You discombobulated. We discombobulated with politics. We discombobulated with religion, and we discombobulated with social living. You got people running around here talking about there's no gender. There's no such thing as a gender. You can do whatever you want to do. There's people walking around saying that there's no creator, right? They worship their mothers and their fathers as creators, mainly their mothers. We drunk with the philosophy of the country. We thinking that Kamala Harris, if she's elected as president, that she's going to save America from its destruction. If Kamala Harris get in office, or Donald Trump get in office, that they're going to save the country from the trillions of dollars of debt that she's involved in. That they're going to save the country from the wars that they're fighting in other countries. As we speak, they saying that Iran is about to shoot nuclear weapons over there in the state of Israel in any day now. Kamala Harris or Donald Trump is supposed, you think that they're going to stop this when they get in office. But don't even understand that all of this is under the behest of the Creator. Because America is the new Babylon today. The European common market system is the new Babylon today, and she's worshiping the old Roman Empire of old. And it behooves the so-called black man to return back to his nationality. They didn't bring no niggas to America. They brought the nation of Israel to America. Under the divine judgment of the Creator. And this war that's going to be fought is going to be fought between what? Christians, Jews, Muslims, and atheists. And you're going to be destroyed. In the book called Nuclear War, Annie Jacobson said that the nuclear fallout that's going to happen in this country and abroad, over 5 billion people is estimated to die in this nuclear war that's going to happen. There's not going to be any food. The water is going to be poisoned, and a lot of you that's going to be sad, that's going to a lot of you that's going to escape the death. You're going to wish that you was dead, because why? You're going to suffer. The air is going to be majorly poisoned. There's not going to be no food. This is the judgment of the Creator. It says they grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them stagger like a drunk man. 13th chapter, 4th verse. But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. See? And why did the Creator call these people a forger of lies? It's because, see, in the history books, they say that you got the white man, the Chinese man, the black man, you got the Mongolian, you got the Caucasian. That's not true history. They said that the black man is a savage that lived in the jungle of a subhuman level. That he made no contributions to human history. And our people come from a race of nobody. Why else did the Creator call them the forger of lies? It's because, see, they have taken our history. Instead of giving us true history, they started to make images of all the Israelites being what? White folks, see? And this is why the Creator said that what? You have no value. what else that makes them forger of lies? You saying that what? That the food that we eating today is nutritious. But here it is, you pumping all the cows and the chickens and all the other food with what? Poison. This is why this is a high rate of cancer in the country. A high rate of diabetes. It's because why? The people are walking around. We got what? Cellular constipation, y'all. She promoted white supremacy in the country. All your presidents, including if they black, they promote white supremacy. Barack Obama is a globalist. He worships the gods of the global elite. And you know what so-called black people do? They're going to erect a library after him. And he's one of the contributors of the wars that we're dealing with today. They say under the Barack Obama administration, he bombed so many countries during the 8 years that he was in office. So he's one of the contributors of a lot of these wars and all of this confusion that we're dealing with today. That's why the scripture says what? But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. See? Because a physician is supposed to help a person that is at ease. If they have a disease or something that's happening to them, they're supposed to go to the physician for help. See? But you can't go to these physicians for help. It's because they are men of no value. Even the real doctors that do a lot of stuff in the medical institute, they say that they say that they are trying to cure cancer. They're not trying to cure cancer. Because how they try to cure cancer, they continue to make what? Processed food. They continue to poison the food in the air. So these people are the forgers of lies, man. They told us throughout history that we celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was supposed to be based upon a peace treaty between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. But that's all lies, people. The Pilgrims came over here and crushed the Native Americans, took their country. And when they couldn't defeat them right off, one of the ways that they defeated them by doing what? They starved them out by killing all their buffalo. They put smallpox in their blankets. They were slaughtering women and children. They tell us through history that when they brought us over here, that basically we didn't have no understanding of nothing. That they brought African Americans from the west coast of Africa. But the people that they was bringing over here was what? The natural and the spiritual seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Fulfilling Deuteronomy 28 chapter and the 68 verse. You shall come over here in ships. See? So the scripture says in the 13th chapter of the book of Job, in the 4th verse, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. 16. He also should be my salvation, for a hypocrite shall not come to me. It says, he also shall be my salvation, for a hypocrite shall not come before him. See? So a lot of you cats that created this false religion called Christianity, and you thinking that all you have to do with all of the stupidity that you have done in the country, all you gotta do is believe in Jesus. See? That's all you gotta do is believe in Jesus. All your sins is gonna be forgiven. But that's not gonna happen. See? We're gonna be destroyed. And a lot of you gonna die a horrible death, man. It's because of the terror and the destruction that you have created amongst the country. You have destroyed the people throughout your media. So you'll paint the picture of these other people of other countries as savages, of people of no value. But here it is, you're the one that's the savage. You're the one that have no value, see? You don't value human life. You will take a human life like it's nothing. You use the media to demonize other countries before you go to war against these other countries. See, that's a position of no value. How many years for the past 30 or 40 years of me being on this planet, I'm 47, we've been talking about these other countries as being a threat to human existence. But here it is, now we starting to understand what's going on. We see that what? You're the threat of human existence. Because as long as you're in power, the country is going to be in disarray. How are you going to be a man of no value when you create fruit and you take the seed out of the fruit? And then got the world thinking that the fruit and the vegetables that we're eating is nutrition. How is that a man of value? Majority of the fruit that we eating today has no seeds in it. The food that we eating today have no nutritional value. That's why the Creator said that you are a position of no value. Because when you go into these laboratories and you create things, the foods that we're eating is killing the family. This is why we suffer from obesity. This is why we have cancer. Even our diet of sex. People today don't want to be committed to each other anymore. Everything is about hot girl summer and hot man summer. And what do we have now? We have a major rise of HIV and AIDS in the country. It's because the country is a position of no value. When a man gets married, the man is supposed to be the head of the household. But when he gets married, saying his wife doing something she has no business doing, next thing you know, she takes all his money and plus take control over the kids. But according to the scriptures, that the man carries the seed. So here it is, the man carries the seed, but he can't even control the seed that he has produced in the earth. Why else is you how else are you in a position of no value? It's because you come into our communities and you set up businesses in the community and you take all the wealth out of the community and you leave us with nothing. This is why you have a high rate of crime in the black community, in the Hispanic community. That's why you got crime there, because they don't control the economics that's in there, especially the black man. He don't control nothing. He took the fathers out of the household. And what is the father's role in the household? He's the leader in the household. And now, because we don't have proper leadership in the household, this is why the kids are destroyed today. This is why the children disrespect their parents. This is why you have the young kids shooting innocent young children in the street. Because when you take the leadership out of the household, there's no value left. That's why the Creator called you a forger of lies. Because why? Because when you took the black man out of the household, you said that the black woman can raise her kids by herself. She don't need a man. And now look at her. She's struggling. The 13th verse of the book of Job, the 4th chapter, it says, "But ye are forger of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." 16th verse. "He also shall be my salvation, for a hypocrite shall not come before him." See? So all you cats that's running around here thinking that when you die, you're going to meet the Creator and the Creator going to open the heavenly gates to you, that's not going to happen. Because there's no such thing as that. How y'all doing today? There's no such thing as that. According to the first and the second chapter of the book of Genesis, heaven is supposed to be on earth. So how do you go from one stage of it being on earth to now we're going to be in the spirit realm somewhere? Why is that? Because of the trick of the adversary. That's why. Everybody is going to heaven, see, but ain't nobody going to hell. That's not true, ladies and gentlemen. And hell is really a condition. And hell is really a destruction that's going to come on the face of this planet. We are already in hell. We don't have control over our mindset. We don't have control over the planet. We don't even have control over our children. So a lot of you devils that have wreaked havoc in the earth, you're not going to be able to stand before the Creator. You're standing before the Creator today. And look at your deeds. Your deeds and your actions is of terror and destruction. The 15th chapter of the book of Job, I'm going to start reading at the 5th verse. It says, "For thy mouth uttereth thy iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty." See, and this is what these folks is choosing. They choose to lie in the media. Year in and throughout. They choose to lie to the media. They're choosing to tell the people that that Ukraine is winning the war over there in Russia. They're not winning the war. They choose to tell you that America is going to continue to stand. That's not true. America is on her way out. See, we down there in downtown Chicago. See, eventually, all these stores is going to be destroyed. See? A lot of these stores is not coming back into business. Let's look at this. It says, "For thy mouth uttered thy iniquity, and thou children the tongue of the crafty. Thy own mouth condemned thee." White supremacy is a crafty tactic to do what? To say that the white man is over the who? Over everybody. The black man is the savage that lives in the jungle of a subhuman level, and that the white man is the closest thing to God that you're going to get. This is the mouth of the crafty. It says, "Thy own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee." You got the Democrats sitting up here telling the people that Donald Trump is a white supremacist. But they're not going to tell you that Joe Biden is a white supremacist. Because really the true definition of white supremacy is the white man rule over all of the dark-skinned nations. But see, she's not just a white supremacist, she's a globalist. Anybody that don't want to follow the rule of America is deemed classified as public enemy number one. That's the leader or the dictator over there in North Korea. That's the dictator over there in Russia. See, all of these people are classified as public enemy number one is because, see, they don't want to come under the rule of America. Let's look at this. This is the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. It says, "And the word of God came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yah, Behold, I am against thee, God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal." Because why? Because at some point the Creator was against God. And who is God today? That's modern day Russia. See? That's Russia. And it says, "And I will turn thee back, and I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy armies, horses, and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." And what do we see that today? We see that as what? The BRICS nations. See? Because Russia was trying to do it with the USSR, but now she's doing it through what? The BRICS nations. Who is that? Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And now you have other countries that is aligning themselves with the BRIC nations. Who is that? I believe India is now, and Saudi Arabia. That's why America is trying so hard to win the war over there against Russia over there in Ukraine. Because of what? Because of the natural resources. Because she's losing her grip over there in what you would call the Middle East and other parts of Africa. It's estimated that over there in Ukraine they have trillions of dollars in the ground, but they can't use it. Is because why? They don't have the machinery to be able to pull the natural resources out of the ground and to be able to make money out of it. This is why all wars are fought. Wars are fought for territory and natural resources. So one of the reasons why America is fighting so hard over there in Ukraine and other parts of the Middle East and even over there in Asia is because why? They need to have control over these natural resources. If America loses her control over the natural resources, then this country is going to suffer. She already suffering, but she's going to suffer majorly if she loses the grip that she has over there in these countries. That's why she went to war against Iraq. That's why she went to war against Libya. It's because Saddam Hussein and Muammar Gaddafi, they became a thorn to America. That's why she assassinated Osama bin Laden, is because they became a thorn to America. See, they was working with America at one point, but eventually they went rogue on her. And all of these three men that we're talking about, they started to side with other people to come against America because they started to figure out the policies of the country that these people are hypocrites, right? That they hypocrites. And this is what we're looking at today, see? So that's why it behooves the so-called black man, see, he got to return back to his God, man. And you nations, some of you nations that's going to be left over, you're going to return back to the Creator just as well, see? It's because in actuality, the whole world is fighting against the Creator. See, if you're gonna create food that's going to be poisonous towards the people, you're fighting against the Creator. If you're going to misconstrue the Bible on purpose, then you fight against the Creator. If you're killing innocent children and innocent men and children, you fight against the Creator. It says Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shields and helmets. And who is Persia today? Persia is Iran. See? Persia is the country of Iran. And who is Ethiopia? Ethiopia is nothing but a Greek term for these different black nations, or what we would call the Hamites and things of this nature. They're starting to side with Russia. It's because they're tired of America too controlling their diamonds, their platinum, all of their natural resources. So these countries, that's what we see today in the news today. See? We see the countries aligning themselves with Russia and China and the rest of these countries to come against America. And this is what we see on both fronts. This is an economical, and this is a This is an economical and a territory war that we're dealing with. We'll be done after this. I'm reading from the 4th chapter of the book of Daniel. It says, Nebuchadnezzar, king unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in the earth, peace be unto you. I thought it good to show the signs and the wonders that the high Elohim had wrought towards me, right? So this is Nebuchadnezzar, right? So it says, how great are his signs and how mighty are his wonders. His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion is from generation to generation. Now, when you read the scripture, you would think that Nebuchadnezzar is talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but he's not. He's really talking about his God. His God, right? Because he was ruling. And that's the mentality of America today. Who is her job? Her God. See, her God is Jesus. And this is why you got Donald Trump on television trying to push the Americans from a Republican standpoint of view to the religion of Christianity. It's because these were their gods that went before them to conquer the world. See? And check it out. It says, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house, flourishing in my palace. And I saw a dream which made me afraid. And the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and soothsayers. And I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belteshazzar, according to the name of my God, in whom is the spirit of the holy powers. Before him I told the dream said. So why he bringing Daniel in there, right? Because he believed that Daniel, because of the soothsayers and that was telling him that Daniel got the vision. But Daniel is not getting the vision from Abraham's God. He's getting the vision from the gods that they was conquered by. This is the mentality of Nebuchadnezzar. Because remember, Daniel was nourished by the king's man for 3 years, right? So now you know Nebuchadnezzar is thinking that Daniel is getting the vision from his God. You know what I mean? So let's continue. O Belteshazzar, master of the magician, because I know that the spirit of the holy powers is indeed, and no secret troubles me. Tell me the vision of my dream that I have seen and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the visions of my head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto the heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. And what is Daniel really talking about? Daniel is really talking about the first beast. He's talking about the Babylonian mystery system. See? This is what Daniel is talking about, right? How the Babylonians, when they came in, they conquered the known world at that time. And they became great, a great nation. Let's continue. The leaves thereof was fair, and the fruit thereof much. And what is the leaves and the fruit symbolic of? The natural resources. See? The water, the diamonds, the gold, the people. See? The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much. And then all was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it. And the fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed. So this is the masses of the people that was following the Babylonian mystery system. See? Because you got the rich, you got the middle class, now you got you got the rich, the middle class, and the poor. They all up under this system. But this is what we're looking at today. See? It says, and I saw in the vision of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher. And Holy One came down from heaven. He cried aloud, and thus said, pull down the tree, cut off the branches, shake off the leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beast get away from under it, and the fowls and the branches. So what is he saying? When he's talking about the fruit and things of that, that's bringing confusion in the earth. Right? Let's take away the control and the power that Nebuchadnezzar has over the world. Let's take away the natural resources from him. All of the things that's in the earth. Let's take away his power and his influence away from the mass, the super rich, the poor, and the middle class. See? Nevertheless, leave the stump of the root and the earth, and with a band of iron and brass and the tender grass of the field, and let it be, it said, let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts and the grass of the earth, and let his heart be changed for man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him. And let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers. And it says, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. See? So who is the base of men? That's them. See? And the people that was following him, they was considered the basis of men. And this is who we dealing with America. And the Euro-Gentile world power system. And the other nations just as well. See? These are the basis of men. They destroy the air. They destroy the food. They destroy the mindset of the people. They assassinate leaders, and they prop up new leaders. Right? You know, the basis of men, they don't have no respect for human life. They don't care about the masses of people. Their whole thing is to influence the masses of the people. To do their bidding in the earth. This dream I Nebuchadnezzar have seen. Now thou, O Belteshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof. For as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able. For the spirit of the Holy Lord is in you. So you know, when Daniel is making this interpretation to Nebuchadnezzar, he's thinking that it's his God that's telling him this. Through Daniel, see? But he don't even know that Daniel is really talking about the God of his forefathers. So with that being said, who should the so-called white man be asking about the events that's taking place on the world stage? He should be asking the so-called Negro, see, because we've been nourished in this country for 400 and something years, right? And we've been given the knowledge of self to understand the prophecies and the events that's taking place on the world stage. But see, he don't want to hear us, right? He don't want to hear what we gotta say, because he has told the whole world that the black man is a savage that live in a jungle of a subhuman level. He ain't made no contributions to human history. That he's a race of nobodies. So when we go out in the streets and we start talking about this, these modern day Nebuchadnezzars today, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that the country is going to be destroyed if they don't repent. See? They don't want to hear that. It says, then Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, was astonished for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belteshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belteshazzar answered and said, my master, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thy enemies. The tree that thou sawest which grew and was strong, whose height reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof of all the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruit bare much, and in it was meat for all, under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon the branches the fowls of the heaven had their habitation. It is thou, O king, that thou art grown and become strong, for thy greatness is grown, and reaches unto heaven, and thy dominion to the end of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and a holy one coming down from heaven, and saying, "Hewn down the tree, destroy it, let the leaves, the stumps of the roots thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts of the field till seven times pass over him." So Daniel is telling Nebuchadnezzar the dream, right? And the interpretation of it. This is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which has come upon my master the king, that they shall drive thee from men, from thy dwelling. It says, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. And they shall make thee eat grass as an oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, till thou know the Most High Yah ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whosoever he will. So, you know, Daniel didn't say, he didn't say to create his name, but he was just telling them, like, look, your kingdom is finna be destroyed. See? Your kingdom is finna be destroyed. It says, and whereas they commanded to leave the stump of the tree roots, thy kingdom shall be sure unto thee. And after thou shalt have known that the heavens do rule, wherefore, O king, let my counsel be acceptable unto thee, and break off thy sins by righteousness, and thy iniquities by showing mercy to the poor, if it may be a lengthening of thy tranquility. So he's telling them right there that you got to show mercy towards the poor, right? Isn't this the same deal that we telling the countries today? See, you got to show mercy to the poor. They don't want to show mercy to the poor. They still want to continue to increase your taxes. They still want to continue to raise the food prices. They still want to continue to go over to these other countries and dominate the weak. So they're not showing mercy to the poor. It's because if they saying, if you don't want to worship our God, we're going to stomp your head into power. That's what they say. It says, and at the same time, this 28. It says, all this came upon the king Nebuchadnezzar. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the king of Babylon. Now, look how arrogant this guy is. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. And the king spake and said, is it not the great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? See, that's how arrogant he was, right? And this is the same arrogancy of the Europeans. And in actuality, it's the arrogance of all of these different leaders that's in these countries, not just the white men. See? Ain't this what I built? Ain't this what the forefathers, the founding fathers built with their hands? They built America. See? We built this country. But how did you build it? You built it off the backs of slaves, right? So it says, while the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. And they shall drive thee from man, thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee eat grass as an oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of man, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. See? And what's going on with the country today? The country today, because Nebuchadnezzar had what? He had a nervous breakdown. And this is what's happening with the Euro-Gentile world power system today. It's having a nervous breakdown. It's fighting against each other. And how is she eat grass like an oxen today? It's because she's not controlling. She's losing her control over the country, over the world. See? Don't nobody want to follow America no more. And all of these countries that had aligned themselves with America, they doing what? They breaking away from her now. So the same arrogancy that Nebuchadnezzar had is the same arrogancy that this country have today. What's that? The European Union, all of these guys, they arrogant. It says the same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from men and did eat grass as an oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were like, well, it says, till his hairs were raw like eagle's feathers, and his nails like bird's claws. And at the end of the days, I Nebuchadnezzar lifted up my eyes upon heaven, and my understanding returneth unto me. And I blessed the Most High, and I praised and honored him that lived forever, whose name is an everlasting. It says, and whose dominion, it should be named, is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation. So this is the same thing that's going to happen to America. America is going to be driven because she's not going to fully acknowledge who is the God of the universe until her kingdom is destroyed. So with that being said, brothers and sisters, just going to conclude the live camp that we did today, and we'll be back out here next week. Peace.